Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of New to Weeaboo. This is number 60 for November 17th, 2021. I am Nemesis, and I am joined here by Alcatraz.
Hello.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I can think of for news stuff anime is, well, the Neon Genesis Evangelion Blu-ray just came out in the US, like literally this week as of recording. The standard version, not the big expensive collector's edition, which is not going to be out for another month or so.
All 26 episodes.
Yes,
plus
Evangelion.
Plus Evangelion Death True Squared and End of Evangelion.
Death True Squared is just
packed with bonus features.
Death True Squared is just the movie version of the series, essentially.
Yeah, I'm just reading the sticker on the Blu-ray copy that you bought.
Yes, I bought it because I just saw it. I was like, oh yeah, that's a thing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's going on. That's a big thing I was thinking of this week. Let's see. But yeah, we're not talking about Evangelion right now.
Right now.
Again, we all want to get those rebuilds at some point. I just got to get the fourth one.
Yeah.
But we're talking about Love Live Superstar. Yes, the fourth Love Live anime. The fourth one, yes, four of them.
Fourth. God.
Well, it's only been, the first one aired in, 2014? So
it's... yeah.
Not like, One Piece with literally 1,000 episodes now. They've breached the 1,000 episode mark.
Reach 1,000, yeah.
Although
there are bigger ones out there than One Piece.
Not that many.
Not many, but there are.
But yeah, so Love Live Superstar, the fourth Love Live iteration, which is changed things up a little bit. Just a little bit, not a whole lot. It's still largely the same thing of, being school idols and all that's, being school idols, learning to, I guess, get along with each other and all that stuff, and
finding your
friendship and singing and all that
finding
stuff.
Your true self and your
following your dreams
and
all that stuff.
Chase your dreams and
The
a little
usual.
bit of save the school, like a lot of them do.
The usual. But this one has 5 characters instead of 9, which already isn't very unusual.
Yep.
So yeah, it's 5 characters. Kanon Shibuya, she's the main. Orange hair, of course. Got to have some sort of reddish tint to the main character's hair.
Apparently, that's a thing.
That's just a thing. Honoka, Chika, Ayumu, and now Kanon. So there's that. Cuckoo Tang, who meets her in school and bothers her incessantly about school idols, because she came here from China specifically to do the whole school idol thing, because she's half Chinese, half Japanese.
Yep.
Chisato Arashi, who's Kanon's childhood best friend, dancer, incredible dancer, in fact.
Yep.
Also likes round things for some reason or another. You got Sumire Hyana, who's aspiring movie TV star type person. Except, aspiring is a big thing because she still hasn't landed a big role at all because she keeps getting passed over and over again. Also a little bit self-centered and full of herself, but might be a bit of a cover.
Yep, that's probably what it is.
Her and Cuckoo have a tumultuous relationship, I would say. And then the final is Ren Hazuki, who's becomes the student council president, and initially, of course, because she had that role, was against the whole school idol thing initially, and then we find out more about her, and turns out she's just a huge dork, the biggest dork in this group, always, honestly, which is probably why she became my favorite.
I figured that was going to be your favorite.
Yeah, so it's 5 of them, and it's just, there's a lot. It's because of that they're actually able to spend more time on them individually versus the other series kind of have to go a little faster about it because, nearly double the characters.
Yep.
So they have less time, and sometimes they have to kind of mush 2 characters and spend, time with 2 characters just for the sake of time. This one is like we can go one-on-one for quite a bit of it. And sometimes come back to others and all that stuff. Because, one of the things is Kanon has a hard time actually singing in front of people. She's a fantastic singer is the idea, but she gets up on stage and just locks up and possibly even passes out. She's done this, she did this way back when she was younger, and it's kind of left a scar on her.
As it would.
Because she was like, oh yeah, you're going to be the lead for the thing, you're great. And she did every single practice and all that stuff, and then gets on stage and locks up and passes out, and that's awkward.
That is quite awkward.
So there's that whole thing. So one of her big things early on in particular is getting the confidence to be able to go on stage, particularly since, she kind of got herself entangled with Cuckoo, who was very insistent on this whole school idol thing.
Yeah, at first she thought she was not going to do it because she, not only did she faint that one time, which left a scar on her, it killed her confidence and made her choke up on her audition.
For this new school, their school at that.
Yeah.
Gaoka Girls High School.
Yep.
Which is literally brand new. This is they're the first class.
Yep. But it is a recreation of the school. That is, the school's brought back.
Well, kind of, because the original school's
the original school's gone, and there's a new one in the same area. Because that was the whole thing with Ren's mom.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. We'll get into that a little bit.
It's the same building.
Yeah, same building, because the old school was primarily a music school, and now it's still very heavily features music, but also has a general education track.
Yep.
Which is where Kanon winds up because she bombed her audition.
Yep. But
Chisato, for example, she's a great dancer. She gets in the dance track, no problem. In fact, also Ren also is in the music course, but Sumire and Cuckoo are not. So that's the thing. Kanon didn't want to do the school idol thing, but Cuckoo was very insistent. And then, Kanon winds up standing up to Ren when Ren's kind of trying to shoot it all down, saying school idol is a waste of time and it would be a blight on this school, etc., etc.
Yep.
And Kanon can't help but defend Cuckoo, and then because of that, kind of winds up involved.
Yep.
She surely stepped in it.
Well, you defended it. Obviously, that means you want to join, right?
That's not what nope.
Nope. That's too late now. You're now the leader.
Yeah. So initially, it is just Kanon and Cuckoo, and turns out initially, Cuckoo, while she has a lot of spirit and she loves school idols, like including having a gigantic poster of her favorite group, Sunny Passion, up on her wall and practically
totally a simp,
worshiping it. Turns out Cuckoo has like 0 stamina.
Yep.
Terrible at athletics. So Chisato brought in just to teach him dancing stuff, including also getting Cuckoo to the point she can actually dance on stage. May leave a big old mark, and then Sumire joins because she kind of finds out what it is, and then she sees a chance for the spotlight, so she takes it, and then she's she's gonna be the center and everything. But when they tell her
Nah, Kanon's going to be the center.
Kanon's going to be the center.
Much to her chagrin.
Yeah, so Sumire is actually going to quit for a while until, they kind of got her back in on board. But that's the whole thing. And Cuckoo and Sumire butt heads a lot. A lot.
They get along very well.
There's that whole thing. Chisato eventually joins after, she's been helping them, helping them with dancing. But she eventually joins because she's been wanting to join for a while, but she wanted to finish out her dancing thing because she went to a competition and won.
She won the competition, so she quit.
Yeah, she won. She's like, okay, I did what I wanted to do. Now I'm going to go join my best friend.
Yep.
/ crush. I mean, yeah, and Ren was the one where it's like they got a bit emotional, a little melodramatic, but it's one of those things. It's like, it's super melodramatic, but at the same time, you're at this point, they can get away with it because now you're invested.
Yeah.
They can't get away with that initially. You notice that they don't do the melodrama until like episodes 8 or 9 or so because they know they can't do it in episode 2. It's too much, too fast.
Too much, too fast.
But at that point, now you're invested. So you'll forgive the melodrama because you're just sitting there rooting for them, possibly even tearing up with them. So the whole thing is, it turns out, her whole, with Ren there, she's initially against it because way back when she wanted to be a school idol, but then she thought that her mom, who was a school idol, hated it, so she didn't want to dishonor her mom's memory because her mom established the school, and like there's no evidence anymore that her mom was even a school idol other than what she was told.
Yeah,
it's gone. So it's like, oh man, she must have hated it so much she got rid of all evidence of it.
Yeah, it's a weird one. Like, the school was failing, and they were a school idol to try and save it, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So she was under the impression that she buried it because of embarrassment or something like that. So she was like, no, you can't be a school idol because I don't want to bring that back.
That, and also she's like, it's a waste of time, particularly since she knows that the school's not doing so hot.
Yeah.
Usually. It's the first year, and their applications aren't where they hope they would be. It's a brand new school and everything.
Yep.
So there's that whole thing. So she's very much against it, and she keeps, trying to stop them, including very iffy ways, just saying, no, you can't do that. And then just, they went, Kanon and them went all over her head, just went to the administrator and went, hey, we want to, less principal, I think. Yeah, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
She goes, we wanted to say, yeah, you can't stop them. Stop trying to stop them. That's above your authority. And yeah, it turns out Ren's had a whole thing with her mom, and she's also, her family's been running out of money, and she's like, yeah, lives in a big empty mansion.
Yeah, because dad took off.
Yeah, her dad and mom separated a long time ago, and her dad went off to overseas, and her mom got sick and died at some point in the past.
Yeah.
So she has estranged from her father. It's a weird thing. It's one of those things, yeah, I'm not sure, but he kind of gets back into her life somewhat.
Yeah, at the end, starts sending money back at least, so it's not too horrible.
Yeah, something, I guess.
The dad is helping fund the school now, too.
Yeah, the other thing, that's the other thing is the school also starts getting, after they perform at their festival, the school starts getting enough applications, they don't have to worry about it.
Yep.
That's the weird thing is like that was such interesting because in the first 2 Love Live series, that's such a central core part of the thing that is here. It's just kind of brought up a couple episodes later. It's taken care of, no big deal.
Yeah, but halfway through, it's like, yep, okay, it's taken care of. We don't have to worry about it anymore.
It's like they we're put it up in like, what was it, episode 7, and then it's just taken care of by episode 11. It's just not even a thing for the next few episodes, and then episode 11, oh yeah, that's not a problem.
Yep.
So it's weird.
So they continue to do the tradition of school idols have to save the school, but they barely touch on it this time.
Yeah, it's
much less focus.
It's almost an acknowledgement that we need to stop using that plot point.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, they only did it twice, but still, it's like that's a weird thing. It's like just okay, it's just there and it's gone. The big thing here is them kind of coming together. That's the core of the story. Because once again, the characters are the focus. Because that's how they sell you the merchandise.
Well, that and they have to, because it's a school idol anime. There's not much differences in the stories, and there's not a huge amount of story there. The story only exists to put the characters together so that you can have the characters interact and grow. The story is not the point. The story is just a means to the point.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's only so much there story-wise, but that's... Yeah.
Of course, I remember the first time I watched it, the weird thing was I felt like, I was talking about this earlier with the whole, they have more time to spend on each character. It felt almost to a degree like they spent too much time on each character and went, oh crap, at the end.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Yeah, and then another one, like, although I think the last Love Live was something like this too, the actual importance and focus on the actual Love Live event itself is reduced here
significantly. I know Nijigasaki, it wasn't even a thing.
Yeah.
In this one, it's like it's brought up towards the end, and then they enter and they get eliminated.
Yeah, but they get eliminated somewhat near. They get eliminated at the city level.
Yeah, they clear the first round, and they get to the second round, get second place, and get eliminated.
Yeah.
Because means
they were up against the top.
Yeah, Sunny Passion. The
Sunny
big one.
Passion happens to be in the same city, so.
Yep, which sucks for them.
Which sucks for them in some ways, but not in others, because Sunny Passion is one of the reasons that they actually came together, because they showed up when they saw one of their first events and went, hey, there's actually potential of these girls, and actually befriended them and kind of helped them come together. So it's kind of nice there, too.
Sunny Passion is, once again, the rival group, like before, although the rival thing is used very loosely here.
Yeah, they're technically rivals, they're friends,
It's
too.
like Arise way back with Muse were the rivals, but they wound up befriending and helping them out.
Mm-hmm.
And Saint Snow was the rival of Aqua's, but befriended and helped them out.
Although that one was they were antagonistic at first. And
no, half of them were.
Right.
Leia was antagonistic. Sarah was more amicable.
Yeah. Because usually when it comes to rival groups, they're not. It usually goes they're butting heads all the time until later on they come to resolution. But this one started out friendly.
Yeah, they're pretty friendly from the get go, and of course, Cuckoo is a huge fangirl.
Oh, of course, because she's a simp.
There's that whole thing. So yeah, they they even invite him over to like this island thing to do concert with them.
Yep.
And all that stuff. All at the point it was not the full group yet. Ren wasn't part of it.
Ren hadn't joined.
Yeah.
And she hadn't.
She hadn't started, but the end of it.
Yeah.
She was part of it. And that was one of the things was like they're like, man, if she was part of your group, you'd be unstoppable.
Yeah.
that sort of thing. Because it's not you yet. Weird thing, because that's one of the things they kind of deal with was like they're a brand new idols group at a brand new school, and people don't really know who they are.
Yep.
So how do we get people to like us?
And this was similar to like one of the whole episodes where they were trying to figure out what's special about them.
Yeah, and
like
that was also
the episode where they try and figure out their name.
Yeah, that's a great name. Way late in the anime,
they realize,
wait,
oh crap,
we don't
actually
have a name. Oh no. Because that's when they're trying to enter the Love Live, and like you need a name.
It's like starting a video game, and that's the first question. What's your character's name? Well, this will take hours to get past this screen.
Yeah. Especially if it's an online game. That name is taken.
So you start adding random numbers to the end.
Yeah, so they're Leela.
Leela.
Yeah, it's like Leela.
Liella.
Yep, Leela. Because that came from, it's an amalgamation of the French verb lire, to link, and Spanish, Italian, or French adjective brillante, shining. So link and shining. Yep. We want to link our shining selves to you, something like that.
Yeah, it's all about coming together and connecting.
That whole thing.
Their whole theme.
Yeah. And then Raji is Rira.
Because
no
L's don't exist, really.
Kind of.
Sort of. They don't really exist, but that doesn't stop them.
Yeah, one of the things we have early on, count on this whole thing, like with the having difficulty singing, seemed to be solved somewhat with she went on stage with Cuckoo, and she saw Cuckoo was freaking out. And it's like, she had as long as I'm on stage with someone else, I'm cool. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is it's kind of like, it's not really solving it, because turns out that doesn't really actually solve the problem, which is, well, if she has to be alone, then she still is having trouble. And Chisato was the one who, of course, realized, being the childhood friend, realized that, yeah, we didn't actually fix that.
Yep, no, we just kind of covered it up. So they had to fix it, and they did.
Yeah, by lying to her.
By lying to her. Yeah, that was a whole... She had to go... They went back to their old elementary school, and to do the little conjo, and they all pulled out so that Kanon had to do it herself and face her fears from the first time she fainted.
Yep.
And it worked.
She did it, yep. And then they all got on stage together, yeah.
Yeah.
Sumere's, the interesting thing about Sumere, her whole thing was she has always been trying to be, an actress and whatnot, and she's always being passed over for the main role or being eliminated or whatever. She's always like the secondary role or some minor thing that no one really cares about. Any which way, she's been all her whole life never ever really winning, so she has a bit of a chip on her shoulder regarding that.
Yep.
And it really hurts her. It's really hurt her self-esteem a lot. It's like she pretends like she's this amazing thing, but honestly, she's doubts herself so much. She as they said, that she kept trying to put her in the center, and she kept passing it off because she didn't want to do it because she was scared of it.
Scared of it, and then coming up with excuses like, you're just doing this to pity me, and yeah, she's not good enough. She's internalized, I'm not good enough. Yeah.
And it's to the point where she's going to quit because, she'll somehow bring down the group.
And it also didn't help that she heard that Cuckoo was going to have to leave if they didn't win.
Yep.
So it's like, I'm going to bring the group down. I'm going to make you have to leave, so I can't be the center.
Yep.
Yeah.
There's all the weird thing. Cuckoo was basically being told that she should go back to China if she this whole thing doesn't pan out.
Yeah, which they didn't address because they didn't win the Love Live.
Yeah, they didn't, but they got pretty far. Well, we'll see how that works because we know from before that there's 2 Love Lives a year, which is very helpful.
It can be, yes.
And Chisato her whole thing was like she always looked up to Kanon when Gazelles grew up. She was always looking up to her and kind of she wanted to establish her own path without something that she's amazing at that Kanon can't do. Just because Kanon has singing and she went with dancing, and she kind of, I guess, whole thing is she wanted to do that, but also and she had this weird thing where she felt like she had to rely on Kanon too much, and so she had to prove herself.
Yep.
And turns out Kanon had the same exact feelings.
Yep.
And they had a very gay moment or 2 or 5.
Not like a good quarter of the entire series.
Yeah. Yeah, that whole thing. And yeah, we already talking about Ren's thing and her dealing with that, all that stuff. And yeah, they found the book, the like scrapbook from the old school idol club, and found that, yeah, this is where all her mom's treasured memories are, including the thing saying this is their, how much she loved it and everything. It's like, oh.
Yep.
So Ren breaking down in tears, because that was the other thing. Ren got elected. She wasn't actually student council president at the beginning.
No,
they didn't actually establish the council yet.
Yeah, it was like
she got elected.
Interim.
She got elected after, Sumire tried to enter, and, well,
that didn't work.
Yeah, not only that, got penalized for basically breaking the rules and essentially bribing voters.
That was great. It's like, is this allowed? And then the administrator, nope, while eating.
Yeah. It's not.
No, it is not. Yeah, but you're eating it too.
Yeah, the whole thing was because that's when immediately one of her things was like they're gonna do this festival and like everyone's gonna help, and then she goes off and says, when she's elected, actually it's gonna be all the music program.
Yep, she went back on her promises.
And then immediately, it's like, whoa, boy, yeah.
Yeah, people were not happy about that one.
Talks of recall led by Sumire.
Yeah, and then they found out what was going on, and then
helped her out. Turns out she's not such a bad person
at first, and then I was like, weren't you against this?
Yeah.
What the heck changed?
Yeah. So then Ren joins and everything, and Ren's not so bad after all. Just like always. Every single series, the student council president does not want to have a school idol thing at all.
And then but secretly they do, but they can't show it. Something like that, and then they end up joining.
Because Muses, Ellie, because part of it was just like, well, it's a waste of time. You're not going to do anything, and also you're bad at dancing. Let me show you how to dance.
Oh, you should join. You're good at dancing.
With Aquas and Daya, it was, you're going to get hurt, and you don't even realize it yet, and I'm trying to protect you. Although then trying to secretly help them as well.
Yeah.
With Nijigaki is Setsuna, and it's like, we tried it before, it blew up in our faces.
We're not doing it again.
We can't do it again because people will get hurt, and I got hurt, and that whole thing, and now it's, well,
my mom tried it and it failed. So
my mom tried it, failed, and she hated it. And
we're not
clearly,
doing it.
It's not going to help the school. It's going to make the school look bad, and it's going to besmirch my mom's memory and all that stuff.
Yep.
Turns out, no.
Nah.
It's such funny. And Canon is also very Canon's very. She doesn't like the spotlight.
Yeah, she's. I don't want to say like unconfident, though she does struggle with confidence, especially after that. But she's not attention seeking.
Yeah,
she's actually somewhat attention averse.
Mm-hmm. And she's also, a little bit shy, a little bit like
maybe a little introverted.
Sometimes frequently we see her just kind of just bewildered and lost.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a mood.
Cuckoo is very intense and passionate and
very
pushy, and also does not have a real filter for talking to some people.
Yeah, no filter or boundaries. Mm-hmm. She's the extrovert that adopts everyone. Will adopt you.
Well, she also very much has no problem being just very insulting to Sumire. like sometimes that Cuckoo got kind of mean, like, genuinely just mean to Sumire.
Yeah.
All because it's just holding a grudge over Sumire just calling school idols amateur.
Ah, yes.
All because of that. She just held that grudge. Passion. Yeah, so it just basically just held on to that. And like, geez, got pushed a little hard, and then until she found out just what Sumire was struggling with.
Yeah. And then it just turned back into teasing.
Yeah, it kind of became a thing there. But, Chisato's whole thing there. Yeah, again, she's kind of...
She's reserved. She's a bit reserved.
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't know. She's a bit hard to describe in that, Matt.
Yeah.
Other than reserved, I wouldn't say she's.
Yeah.
What was the? Because she started out, she was very, meek. I guess is a good word.
I would say meek.
I'm trying to find one. She got picked on a lot, and she didn't really stand up for herself until she got the confidence and help from Kanon as a kid. But she doesn't really.
But she's always very outgoing, not like super, like not to the great degree how Cuckoo is, but like, she's just a friendly person.
Yeah,
she's nice to pretty much everyone.
It's hard to describe her on that one because she isn't. on any of the real extremes.
Yeah. Again, Sumire puts up the whole self-confidence, big, huge wall of self-confidence, and
Yep.
has a weird galaxy tick.
Yeah, that's her little catchphrase.
That's how she does that. She kind of is confident, and she is very skilled.
Yep.
She shows that. Like, oh yeah, it's like because Cuckoo's like, oh, you can't do, and then just Sumire just the dance moves perfectly.
Yep.
And then also shows that she's good at ad-lib and does the whole rap thing.
Yep, that was a whole one.
And like I said, Ren seemed to be a very aloof and distant and even kind of looking down on people, but, well, it turns out she's a huge dork who doesn't really understand a lot of modern things.
Yeah, kind of sheltered.
Yeah, a dork who's sheltered, and also very much a good girl, because, like, I was told to stay away from such things, talking about video streaming.
Very traditional on some things, too.
But of course, also kind of has a tendency to kind of blow things up a little bit in her head. In a sense, like, she looked at something on a computer and was convinced this is why we're all in trouble, because she clicked an ad on a computer. Ad, which, by the way, had very clearly was for lesbian stories or something like that, or comics.
And it piqued her curiosity.
Yeah, it piqued her curiosity.
Oh,
and the thing was, that ad was also open on Canon's laptop, so, There's a lot going on here. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
It's just an ad. It doesn't always mean anything. They tended to track what you.
So the music itself it's a thing. I've noticed a lot of the Love Live stuff. Every single group's, I guess, Ninja Saki's the weird thing is 9 individuals. They have their own kind of thing. They're very much a very distinct sound to a degree for the most part. Yes, there is some blending because a lot of it is ballads or pop songs or whatever, but they all have their own distinct flavor. And it's great. And Layla's is also pretty good, and it's got a lot of fun stuff there. I think a lot of the music's been pretty good, which it should be.
It's the
music centric.
It's Love Live. It's about idols.
You
it's
better
about
have good
music.
You better
That's
have
kind
good
of your
music.
core.
Yeah, it's very good. There's that one song where it sounded like Firework.
Oh yeah, that one.
Just really good song, yes, but still, like, every single time you hear it, it's like,
it sounds like Firework.
That's a thing. The animation is actually really solid too.
Yep.
Again, it's Bandai Visual / Sunrise, so that's the thing.
Yep, they've really figured out what they're doing, especially when it comes to, like, the dancing and stuff. Yep. They always do the dancing scenes in CG, but they've got it down to the point where it's very
close to the 2D.
Yeah, it blends in almost perfectly.
It blends in very well. There's only a couple shots here and that will make you tip you off. Yes, this is very much a CG shot.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I remember the Ninja Saku is a weird art style deviation from the rest, versus this is much more in line with School Idol Project and Sunshine. It's just kind of a refinement of those two art styles, because each one seems to refine on each other. So it's like you can see it, like particularly with Ren's eyes, you can see like, yep, that's a Love Live thing.
Yep. They definitely have that style.
That's the distinct. Love Live has this weirdly distinct eye style, which is like you don't know it until you see it.
Yeah, once you start seeing it, you go, "This is Love Live, isn't it?"
So that's a thing. It's something that's interesting to me about Love Live as a whole now, and this kind of ties Superstar here ties into it, which is they've become far more aware of their international audience. And it's not like they weren't before. Like, I know the original School Idol product, when it came out on Blu-ray, they had English subtitles in the Japanese release. They knew fans from overseas were importing them.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, there was the whole thing with the first season, and actually this big special release didn't have the subtitles, but the regular release did. It was a weird thing. But they're aware of it, and they've done the concerts and stuff outside of Japan and also in Southeast Asia and North America and whatnot, and they've been successful. And so they know, and they've been slowly kind of becoming, because of that, they're becoming more aware of that, and they're kind of starting to cater to the international audience. Including here, we got Cuckoo, who is half Chinese, Lanzu in the game, who hasn't appeared yet, but she will appear in season 2 of Ninja Saki. She's Chinese and awful, but she's Chinese. She's an awful character. Hopefully the anime fixes her, because man, they blew it. And of course, before you had Marie, who's half Italian American, but well, she is voiced by someone who doesn't really know English. But Ninja Saki is also getting Mia Taylor, who is an American in the thing, and they have her being voiced by someone who is fluent in English. Granted, she has an Australian accent because she grew up in Australia, but
why does that sound familiar?
yeah, but it's still she's fluent in English, and she's an American, foldable and just an American in the canon. So they are becoming aware of this stuff. And then recently, actually, I've been playing the Love Live game because I've been doing that for a while now. Recently, they have a little event going on, which Muse is doing a festival, and the festival has a Thanksgiving theme because they have a lot of tourists right now, and Thanksgiving's not a thing in Japan. They even talk about it's an overseas tradition.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
So they
is
were
literally
learning
an
about it,
holiday.
and they're doing a Thanksgiving event because they know there's an international audience who are playing this. So here it's November, Thanksgiving. So it's like, okay.
Although it wouldn't be the first time Western holidays have kind of moved that direction.
Yeah, but that's not. I don't think it's ever going to be a
kinda
thing in Japan, really.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't expect Thanksgiving to be, because that's very much based in American history. Because it has to do with landing here.
American Thanksgiving. There's also Canadian Thanksgiving. But, yeah.
That too, because there's a lot of connection there. But it's still the same thing. Very much over here, whereas them adopting Christmas is a little bit different.
Jolly Fat Man gives you presents.
That has nothing to do with American history.
Also, we just chicken. Fried chicken.
Western culture, not American culture, just made
it
really big.
That, some Japanese adopting Western things and putting their own spin on it. Again, they don't get Christmas trees usually. They might get a small one, or they have a small artificial one because they don't have room. A lot of places don't.
Yeah.
But they'll have the big old, like the stores will have a big old Christmas tree in front of it or something.
Yeah, or maybe some towns will do it like we do. Like we have our here in town.
That sort of thing. Unlike
it still makes me sad that they cut down the really big one and replaced it with this tiny one that
rotting though.
Although it was hilarious. I still remember the first year that happened. They used the same star and they couldn't hold it. It was kind of drooping out.
I recall that old tree was rotting was the problem.
Yeah.
But anyway, you get that thing like in Japan, there's the Christmas date, which is that whole thing. The fried chicken on Christmas Day is your Christmas. That's Christmas dinner. You go literally not just make fried. You can literally go to KFC, get some fried chicken. That's Christmas dinner, and everyone's happy with that. That's not I messed up dinner thing. That's what you do. And they've adopted Halloween and Valentine's Day, and Halloween's a fairly recent one. That's the weird one.
Yeah,
it's fairly recent, like within the last decade or so, was more becoming adopted into Japanese culture. In part, well, you dress up, and you eat candy.
It's not till when have they grabbed Easter yet?
Yeah, cosplay is a big thing over there, and so it's like just dress up and you get candy and stuff. And granted, the trick or treating part is not so much of a big. I've seen the actual door to door trick or treating isn't a thing. They do trick or treat, but it's not a door to door thing for the most part.
Yeah,
not like here. As far as I know, I might be wrong on that. From what I've looked into, that's what it seems to be. The trick or treating thing is mostly just you kind of friends giving each other candy sort of thing, or playing pranks on each other. Yeah, so it's weird. That's one interesting though. They're definitely building more of an international outreach with Love Live. They know they're doing the English subtitles day one pretty much. They're having characters who are not strictly Japanese anymore. Oh, there's another one. Nijisaki also has Emma Verde, who's European. She's which one was it? No, not Swedish. Swiss. Yeah.
Although there's one where when we start catering to certain, specifically China, you get they start pulling certain topics or making the topics easy to pull for a Chinese release.
Yeah, because China is very authoritarian.
Yeah, and very anti-gay.
Yeah, that's one thing. Because Love Live is notorious, as we've talked about, for being
rather gay,
both in the subtext and sometimes in the text.
Yep.
See Rico and her dojins, which she doesn't want anyone else to see.
So yeah, the worry is if they start really starting to cater to certain international audiences, that progress on representation may be removed.
Yeah, who knows? We'll see how that plays
pulled
out.
back. So yeah, who knows? I'd like to see it not.
Superstar here also very much has a lot of the subtext and not so subtext.
There's nothing super explicit or blatant about it. It is mostly just subtext, but it's pretty.
Yeah,
it's hard to not see it.
Yeah, you see it like Kanon and Cuckoo initially, and then Cuckoo and Sumire. People talk about Cuckoo and Sumire being the new Nikomaki, and
Yep.
Kanon and Chisato, and sometimes Ren Chisato, or all sorts of these. There's connections there. You can just draw between all of them, and people saying, "Yep, just do the poly thing."
Yep. Yeah,
I'm in my opinion. Just do the poly thing. It's just easier.
The thing. It's easy. Especially
I can't make it.
Like you were saying when we were watching it, there's only 5, so it's easier.
Yeah, it's 5, so the logistics work out. It's just one for me. It's just like it's just hard to just decide on which the best one is. Honestly.
Yeah.
Speaking of best, who's the standout character for you?
For me, I don't know. Since I'm not as much into school idol stuff as you are. I mean, this is definitely your avenue of things more than it is mine. But if I had to pick, because I'm not like super locked into any one particular, but if I had to, probably Canon.
The main character.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a school idol anime.
Yeah. It's
good. I like it, but I'm not like, oh, I gotta have more, and I gotta start playing the games and start collecting figures, and yeah, it's good. It's just.
It's not Miku.
Yeah.
Jab.
Yeah. That's a weird one too, but yeah. I don't know. I like Canon probably the most out of all of them.
Yeah, Canon's good.
But they're all good in their own ways.
Yeah, they've been putting up the Figmas for pre-order, and I've been ordering them as they pop up. So right now it's Kanon, Cuckoo, and Chisato are the ones that have been orderable. I don't think Sumire and Ren have been up yet. They've been announced, but they're not available to order yet.
We're really waiting for that Ren, huh?
She'll probably be the last one because it looks like they're going in the order they joined the group.
Yeah, it would make sense.
I think she's going to be last. So it's like, the thing is, I just want all. I'm all first three pre-orders. So I want all 5 just to have them displayed.
Yep, gotta have the whole group.
I don't have to because I didn't do that with the previous ones. Because geez,
well, there are also 9 of them each,
and also it got into Love Live after those started selling out.
Oh
so
yeah,
like,
so
some of them are really expensive.
Yeah, tell me about it. It's like you brought up Miku earlier. Now that I'm late to that one, there's so many figures that I can't get, or if I want, I'm spending
a lot of
huge amounts of money
2 or 3 times sticker price.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, if I want to get a complete Muse set, for example, for me Figmas, like, well, Nico is like $120 easy or so on. But then you got offset though by stuff like you can get Honoka for like $30.
Oh.
But I spent how much, like $100 on Maki, and that was for one with a ripped box.
Oh yeah, yep.
And Rico from Sunshine was like $130.
Yep.
And that's like the cheapest I've found sealed.
Yep.
And Yoshiko, I got Yoshiko $50 back when she was still actually available, and then now she's like $90-$100 herself. So it's like, yeah, those go up in price pretty quickly. The Nendos, the Nendos are just don't even. The Nendos started off at like $50, and now it's like easily most of them are $90-$100+
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. But then of course, if the Muse, you get the SH figures. Those are cheap. Don't know why the SH figures Muse got characters are just cheap. But anyway, I know they've announced the Canon Nendo has been up for pre-order now. I thought about it, I was like, I would prefer just to have the Figma. Between the two, I prefer the Figma, but yeah. I know some people obviously going to get both, but.
Yeah. I've got a few characters that I tried to go both on.
Yeah.
Primarily it was Ryoko.
So yeah, Superstar, the way it ended, they got through some round, the first round, and they got to the next round, they got second, that means they're eliminated, which sucks for them. And they even said that Canon was like, this sucks.
Yeah,
he's like trying to be positive, and this sucks. But they're like, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep going. And it's like, yeah, it's pretty obvious. Okay, season 2's coming. I mean, Nijixaki got season 2 announced officially, and it's pretty obvious season 2 is going to be a thing with this. Like, duh.
Yeah,
it seems to be the formula.
So
I wouldn't surprise me if Nijixaki they announce a movie, and then this gets season 2 in a movie. Seems to be the formula is 2 seasons in a movie.
Yep,
which works. It has them let them stay around for a bit without overstaying their welcome. And, well, of course, then they just kind of could perpetually exist in the games and whatever. As it is, Aqua's is still actually performing. Heck, that was a thing. I just remember they just released a song which actually has Aqua's, Nijigasaki, and Layla here all performing the same song. It's all of them together.
Oh, dang.
So it's how many is that? That's 9, 12, 5. That's yeah, it's a lot of them.
Yep, that's a lot. It's a lot.
That's 26 people performing in one song. And then they have variations with just, the different groups. And yeah, that's the thing. They are performing. I think they're doing a tour where all 3 groups are performing.
They're all singing at the same time. It's no longer just a group. You just call it a choir.
Yeah. Well, yeah, unfortunately, Muse is retired because of various reasons. Apparently, no guarantee that Aquas will retire, but there's no chance that Aquas will stop at least producing new songs.
Eventually, they all have to retire.
But yeah, Muse retired, I think, in part because one of the VAs was having a hard time with health issues, was causing her to have difficulty actually performing, and she's missed a lot of shows.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it became a point. It's like, okay, it's been like 5 years. We probably just go ahead and just have Muse stop performing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So the other things they're performing still. And once again, this one has no real direct connection to previous series. It seems like Sunshine was the anomaly in that regard. Because that was the one that was directly referenced Muse.
Yeah. They all kind of exist in the same universe.
But yeah, they don't
touch each other really.
This one only has a couple Easter eggs and callbacks. Like there's Honoka coffee is in there. It's a very blatantly orange coffee house. Like, well, that's referencing. And then there's stuff where like Cuckoo blatantly references stuff Muse did. And then later episodes, she's like, this is a thing she heard about, and like, yeah, it's a callback to Muse.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
But beyond that, yeah, that's the thing. But the other interesting thing is, technically, in the fiction, I'm wondering if this is going to happen, is Leela here and Nijigasaki are operating at the same time, versus the other 2 groups were at different time periods.
Could be.
And they're both in Tokyo.
Yeah.
It makes you think. Theoretically, the 2 could
at the same time, and they're both in Tokyo. Then
crossover is theoretically possible. Unlike before, with Sunshine, they tease the idea of Muse returning, but only to that's not happening. We don't want to show them as adults.
Yeah,
that'd be bad. Who knows what might happen? We have to confirm what happened with one of them romantically or something. That would be no good.
And you can't do that with idols. Idols are pure.
Yeah, that sort of thing. So that's a thing. They could theoretically. Because interesting, Leela here isn't quite in the games yet. Not totally. Like, there's been a couple songs in All Stars, but no cards or anything. They have cards in the original game, which I got them because of the event, and they're still doing those. And they have a couple songs in the original game, and they even had a brief little story in the original game. But yeah, so far their appearances have been very minimal in the games. I'm suspecting they're going to have to integrate them at some point because, well, the new group, you got to sell them. Yeah. Trying to think of anything else.
I got nothing else.
Yeah, I rather liked it. I would say there's a couple little things. Again, that I think the weird thing was they kind of rushed it towards the end. It was they spent a long time. It was great they spent so much time on the individual characters, but it kind of bit them in a little bit in the end because they kind of had to rush through that last bit. The last 3 or 4 episodes, they kind of really rushed through the whole Love Live thing.
Yeah, it was like, oh wait, this is a Love Live series. We have to have Love Live in here.
Yeah.
Crap.
It's funny just because Nijigasaki is incidentally mentioned once, and that was never again.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the characters themselves are great. I think, though, overall, I'm going to be honest, I still think Sunshine's my favorite. And something about that one, I think that was just the right mix. It's just the right mix of characters all coming together. I don't know, something about it. Sunshine was just, it's weird. Because this one also improves a lot of things. And one other thing is there's no character that's weird and creepy and gropey or anything like that.
That is a good thing, yes.
There wasn't one in Nijigasaki either, but they didn't really get into that here at all. That was not a thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing. It looks like they kind of tone that down, please.
Thank you.
Because, yeah, most Nozomi and Marie in the first 2.
Yeah.
I still think, despite everything, I think Sunshine's still my favorite, although it doesn't say, not to say I don't like this one. I do. It's just, I think that's still my favorite.
Yeah. Well, this one doesn't have Yoshiko.
Well, it also doesn't have Umi or Setsuna.
Yeah.
But it does have Ren. No, the other I almost forgot the other one. Other interesting departures. They're all first years this time.
Yeah.
So no tearful. Oh no, the group has to break up because some of us are graduating.
Yep, and
they can operate for a full.
Do we continue with new members or?
Yeah, they can operate for a full 3 years.
Yeah.
So that's that for them. I guess one other thing you brought it up when you were watching it. It is something I thought of when I was watching it too. Is just the Chisato's design. She's got white hair and red eyes.
Oh yeah, I do remember bringing
like everyone
that up.
else, like got fairly standard stuff, but like she's white hair and red eyes, and I'm not sure if that's intentionally like the idea of albinoism or not.
Yeah,
it's
I don't
an
know.
Interesting thing because that's a markers of albinoism.
It's like one. It is a marker of albino, pale skin, white hair. Red eyes, but this is also anime, so wild hair colors and eye colors are completely normal. So, but yeah, it was a thing that I picked up. I was
of course, most people are saying dark pink. I was like, isn't that just red? It's like lightish. It's lightish red. That's just pink.
It's just pink.
I don't know. Yeah, they say her eye color is dark pink.
But yeah, that is an interesting one.
Because like I know Nico has straight up red eyes, but also she has black hair, so it's like, yeah. Maybe she's actually a vampire.
She's a vampire.
Yeah. I think but that's pretty much it though. Beyond that, can't think of anything else. It's nice to see. It was fun to watch, and I don't know where they're gonna go. Well, obviously season 2 is going to be a thing. They haven't announced it, but
they definitely left the door open for it.
Wide open. It's they pretty much all but said we're stick around for season 2. Yeah, so there's that, and I guess that's it for this episode.
That's all, folks.
More or less. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope me indulging my Love Live nonsense. If you liked it, you can check out other episodes on newtoweeaboo.libsyn.com. It's spelled LABSYN. You can see those, as they come out there, and subscribe via the RSS feed, or you can subscribe via other services such as Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or Amazon Podcasts. Search for New to Weeaboo in any of those, or click the links, the buttons at the top of the Libsyn site, and you'll be taken there. Yeah, so keep up that way. If you want to contact us, you can do so via email, newtoweeaboo@gmail.com. So questions or criticisms or anime suggestions, or did you watch Superstar and enjoy it? I don't know. I'm not you. You haven't told me. You need to tell me if you want me to know. Or whatever. That's our sort of thing. Or maybe if we got something wrong. I don't know. Sometimes that happens. I mean, we're talking about a culture where it's like...
Yeah, and we're... Yeah, and
again, we're new to this.
Yes, we're still new to this whole thing.
Anyway, so that's that whole thing. You can also follow us on Twitter. We're at New to Weeaboo, and of course, there's our personal Twitters. I'm at Nemesis Prime 1, and he's at Alcatraz717 and _ at the end. Once again, transforming robots for me.
Yeah, I haven't posted basically anything.
And that wraps us up for this episode. Join us next time in December. We will be actually talking about, because we're going to go ahead and try to chase that algorithm a bit, we're going to talk about Halo Legends.
Hey,
yeah, remember? Halo
different.
Had an anime. Do you remember that? Because I sure do. So you'll see how that plays out, because that's going to be interesting just because of the nature of that one. It'll be interesting to talk about just because of that.
Yeah, this will be a very
different format
one.
Will make it interesting. And hopefully, it's been a while since I watched that, so I'm hoping that at least it will, create interesting discussion.
Yep.
Anyway, we'll do that next time in December, and we'll see you then. Take care of yourselves, and goodbye.
Bye.